Let me start by saying I'm having a little bit of a crisis of conscience because, we finished season 18, the tell-all number 4 is done, they're doing follow-on episodes, but the season's over. And this last episode was, I thought, a very clear picture of Kody's destruction. And I'm watching it, and I'm laughing with my wife about it, and I'm recording this video here, and I recognize that there's a lot of entertainment that I am participating in around the downfall of this family, and in particular, this man. And I think it is fair for the fans of the show to react to what we see. I think that it is demonstrative of what can happen when people's egos get out of control. I think it's a good point of discussion, so I'm not going to stop doing it. But I also want to acknowledge that there is a guy there that I think really is suffering. And you can tell that he's struggling because in every one of the tell-all episodes, Kody is focused on this idea of his wives talking trash about him. In particular, he's focused on Christine. He wants people to stop speaking negatively about him. And I think I have said, and definitely people in my comments have said, this is just a marker of him having a narcissistic injury, right? Kody presents with this inflated sense of self, but he's not very resilient when people that he doesn't even know pick on him. And on the one hand, I look at that and go, yeah, why is he so concerned with the audience? And on the other hand, I can't imagine what it's like to have millions of people that don't really know him, don't really know his family, that feel totally empowered, like I do, to say that's bad behavior, or that's good behavior, or that's caustic, or that's whatever, right? We're really comfortable criticizing him. And so I can imagine that maybe in some ways it's reasonable for him to be really overwhelmed by this, which by the way is why I can't figure out why this show continues. I can't believe that Kody needs the money so bad that he's willing to subject himself and his family to this kind of external scrutiny. It's getting to the point where it seems super unhealthy, and I don't think that he's handling it well. I don't think Robyn's doing well with it. I don't think that Robyn's kids are doing well with it based on their interviews. I don't know if I'm Kody why I would continue this thing. But continue he does, and in this episode there are many examples of Kody having an odd take on, I would say odd and even disruptive take on reality. So the first one is this idea that if Christine really loves David and if Christine really is over Kody, then she'll stop speaking negatively about Kody's parenting and performance as a husband, which I understand why Kody would like her to stop, but I don't think there's no linear connection between Christine's relationship with David and her desire to complain about Kody. She's complaining about Kody because he continues to act in disruptive ways. He's mistreating her kids, and Christine's frustrated by that. He's mistreating Christine's sister wives, and Christine's frustrated by that. He won't acknowledge the relationship dynamics that existed before Christine left, and she's frustrated by that. Once that stuff is addressed and taken care of, I bet you Christine will stop speaking negatively. It has nothing to do with her affection for her new husband. And in this episode, Kody actually went after Mykelti, which was a surprise to me. Of all the kids, Mykelti's the one that I think has put the most effort into keeping the family together. But Kody got very frustrated when he heard that Mykelti thought that it was Kody's problem that he wasn't attracted to Christine.
The guy you were married with was never into it. That sucks. But that's his problem, not yours.
That's all Mykelti said. Christine said, I'm uncomfortable dating because my last husband, your father, wasn't attracted to me. And Mykelti said, that's his problem. And by the way, she's right. Doesn't mean that she's saying he's a bad person. Doesn't mean that she's saying something's wrong with Robyn. Doesn't mean any of those things. But Kody heard that and goes, oh my God, Christine is turning my kids against me, and there's a prime example of it.
Mykelti, in order to have favor with Christine, is siding against me on this whole story. Mykelti said, yes, she's joining Christine in the criticism of me because I didn't love her.
I can't imagine how frustrating that would be for Mykelti to see. She's been criticized for forcing the family into that awkward goodbye party. She's the one that maintains a relationship with Robyn. She's the one that, she's done more. She's put herself in a difficult, uncomfortable position more than anybody else. Not only are all those interactions uncomfortable for her in the moment, but she has to deal with the online community saying that she's over-inserting herself. She has to deal with the external scrutiny that is really not hers to own. But she's done that to benefit Kody. And then he hears her say one thing that isn't pro-Kody, and he turns on her. And that does, to me, feel like the reaction of an injured narcissist. Oh my God, you're not fully supporting me, then you're against me, and I will attack you. And that brings me to my favorite Kody comment of the episode. He says, he's hyper-focused on this idea that Christine's speaking negatively about him. And he says the reason why she talks trash is so that David will be with her. Because his logic is that if Christine tells David she left a good man, then David wouldn't be interested in her, because she's not loyal.
Christine has to destroy my character, or David doesn't feel like he can marry her because she left a good man.
Which I heard it the first time, like he said it before, and I've heard it, and I just sort of clocked it as like, it's a weird way of viewing a relationship, but whatever. But the more I think about it, and the more I hear him say it, the more I think it sort of shows you how Kody thinks about women and relationships in general. And I think it's really maybe the core of his problem with Meri, Christine, and Janelle. He's viewing women like they are just a set of qualities. It's a transaction. Do you want to be with this person who has X, Y, and Z history, X, Y, and Z personality, X, Y, and Z trait, right? And that's it. So I imagine him walking into the local, it's like he's trading horses. You walk up to the trading post and you go, I like this horse because it's young. I like this horse because it's fast. I like this horse's coat or whatever, and I'm going to pick this group of horses to live with. I feel like he views women that way. He can't imagine that David and Christine would have a connection that goes beyond her past relationship. I think it's part of his religion, maybe it's part of the sort of polygamist culture. For me, it feels very reductionist, and I think he's missing a lot of the depth that comes with a true connection, romantic connection. Now, before I go, I want to shift my focus off of Kody for a second and on to Robyn, because for one of the first times, we saw Robyn actually cry in this episode. So Suki asks Kody first, would you ever want to have more wives? And Kody is like, I couldn't possibly, because I'd have to tell that new wife that I couldn't love her the way I love Robyn. I think he's trying to get some brownie points there. And I personally think that Kody could be convinced, I think his ego could be convinced to take on another sister wife. But that's not here nor there. When Suki asks Robyn about the idea of being in a monogamous relationship with Kody, she starts crying and she says, it feels really disrespectful to my sister wives. It's disrespectful to Meri Meri, Christine, and Janelle because I signed a contract to be in a family with them. And she wants those women to pursue her and to give her the sort of go-ahead to be in a relationship with Kody one-on-one. It's weird in so many ways. Like the idea that she's worried about being disrespectful is nice, I guess, now, but she wasn't worried about being disrespectful when she kissed Kody early, when she got rings with Kody, when she went on an 11-day honeymoon, when she's trying to take more land than Meri. There's so many. I've only watched the last 2 seasons, and there's so many examples of Robyn doing things, functioning in the family in a way that was incredibly selfish. She was never really concerned about the well-being of anybody else. And now, as the family implodes, now she's like, well, it would be disrespectful if I was just with this guy. It's like, wait a second. When you kept him at your house and allowed him not to visit his other wives for months on end, that was disrespectful. So I guess I'm not critical really of her wanting to be respectful now. It's just wild to me that she doesn't see how disrespectful she was in the past. So those are my global thoughts. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great holiday. Like, subscribe, comment, all those things.